Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Welcome to my probably will be a very lengthy tutorial. What we're going to be doing is installing a bunch of software, but the goal is to install Python 3.6 to be specific. That's the latest version. And what we're going to need to do is we're on Mac, so we're going to install VirtualBox for virtualization. We're then going to go and download the latest version of Ubuntu. Once we get in Ubuntu configured and installed, then we're going to load in the Python interpreter 3.6. From there, we will need to install, I think it's going to be like this, in the terminal of the Ubuntu Linux Python. And then we will need to install pip for the Python package installation manager. And then once we get pip, we're going to install Pandas, latest version. We're going to install pip numpy, and then pip install matplotlib. These are the packages for Python, the standard package that you'll use for a lot of Python applications, specifically around trading. From there, we are then going to install an IDE, an integrated development environment, which I like, called JetBrains Pycharm. So first thing we need to do is just make sure we can install Pycharm onto Ubuntu. You can see do that by Pycharm Ubuntu. We'll see what supported Linux distros they support. Looks like it could be anything. Oh, looks like we need OpenJDK or one of the JDKs for Java. Not a problem, so we shall do that. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we need to do, go to your friendly Google thing and just type in VirtualBox. Now again, I'm on Mac. Here's my latest info for all you geeks out there. Mac OS Sierra. We're doing this March 16, 2017. That's the latest version, the specs on the system. Here we want our VirtualBox download. Now, what we want is OS 10 host, because that's what we're doing. So our Mac is going to be the host, and our virtual machine that we're going to install, the Linux, is going to be known as a guest. So once we get that all up and running, which is, I'm going to show how easy it is with Mac compared to Windows. Oh, I forgot to, whenever I make a reference to Windows, Microsoft, or any other Microsoft product, it will be known as Satan. Just so you know. Okay, so open when done, and off it goes. Going to open it up. And then from there, we pray that we can install it. Now, how do you think we do it? That's it. That's literally it. Come into the Launchpad, do a search for VirtualBox. There it is. Simple as that. So now we have VirtualBox running. And I'm going to pause for a little minute. Alrighty. So we're all good to go with Ubuntu running. So now let's go over distro watch. I want to mention this for a little bit. The rankings of Linux, which changes all the time, we're going to load in Ubuntu. It's the fourth most popular Linux distro. Debian as well, but everyone seems to like Mint for whatever reason. But I'm just used to Ubuntu, so no one can do anything about that. So going to download. I would usually recommend the Ubuntu desktop. And then it's going to load in this version, 16.04 long term. Blah, 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 blah. Whoop. No, we don't want that. No, take me to the download. Thank you for downloading. So now, I just want you to understand something here. We are downloading the ISO of this Ubuntu, okay? So what that means is you're downloading the disk ISO, and then from there we can install the Linux, Ubuntu Linux into VirtualBox. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, so we'll continue the video in a sec. So here we are where our Ubuntu 16.04 Linux desktop has been downloaded. You can see right here in the Ubuntu ISO file. So now what we got to do is we got to march on over to our running version of VirtualBox. So let me just find it again. There she is. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to create a new virtual machine, a guest that will reside on our host, the Mac OS. So let's get to it. So the first thing is we want to call it, or just let it know it's to be known as Ubuntu. So we'll just call it Ubuntu. I don't know, call it desktop or something, whatever, call it whatever you want. Just don't call it Satan, okay? That's all, because hail Satan. Yeah, there you go. So we continue along. So the recommended RAM of the is 768. This system's not. I'll give it a gig. 1024. I think it should be enough. Now, create a virtual disk drive. Yes, we don't want to do that. That expands, so it's not going to take up the size of the drive. I always go with defaults. Now, I'm no expert here. It's got dynamically sized. Fine, which is fine. I'll save on drive space. So here it says 8 gig. I'm going to probably make it 12 gig. Usually 8 gig doesn't cut it. Or let me just make it 10 gig. So we're going to create, okay, so there's our drive. So now let's go into settings for this particular virtual machine. So in here, here's our settings. Now the thing is, we need to have this virtual machine boot off the drive and then load up our ISO file that we just downloaded. So if we go under storage, you'll see our controller IDE. We want to click on this little disk here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to choose optical disk file. What does that mean? We are going to choose this one, Ubuntu right here, this one, that we just downloaded, the ISO. Okay, and off we go. So now what's going to happen is when we click start, if we didn't do that, it would boot off the internal virtual drive that we created, but nothing will get started, and because there's no bootable file in there. And as a result, we need to boot off of the virtual drive that we just loaded up on that ISO, if that makes sense. So we can fire it up, start it up, and here's our little host, our guest. So now we know that this is running because it's got these little icons here. So I'm going to let this run. And again, when I install these, I always use the default. So reports that the guest OS supports mouse pointer integration. This means that you do not need to capture the whatever. Okay, because VirtualBox recognizes Ubuntu and we don't have to do any further configuration. So just so you know, I can go into here with the mouse in my guest. When you want to step outside, it does it automatically. Oh, okay, cool. So now got our little mouse control here. in our guest screen, I guess you could call it. So obviously we want to install Ubuntu with English or whatever language you're from. Download updates installing Ubuntu, sure. Okay, so we're going to install now. Erase disk, sure. It's going to give you all the blurbs and how the data will get set up and partitioned and all that. So it's asking for a region where we live. Yes, known as Toronto. Very good. And English US is the language. Let's see if we can expand this. Not quite. Okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, it does. Automatically, all this has all been updated. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so what's the name of our computer? I will call it Ubuntu. Pick a user. Hello. I'm always picking the most secure password. Okay, fine. And off it goes, downloads all the necessary software. So we'll let it run in the background while I do some other stuff. You can watch the pretty little icons. It should be pretty quick, actually. So it's now loading in the system. You know what? Why don't we stop this video for now and we'll continue on the next. Just thinking if I should just let it run. This will be the longest process. Yeah, let me just pause it. All right, so you can obviously figure out we are, oops, we're downloading now, so we can restart the process, and it will probably install, and let's see what happens. If I may need to pause, but I'll let it run and see what happens. Oh, I gotta remove the little file there, so we can, which is it? Remove disk. Okay. So let me just go back into VirtualBox here. Where are you? Okay. Okay, here's our VirtualBox. So let me go back into storage and empty. So we want to make sure that that drive is empty, which is the case. So we can now start up. So we will reset this guy. So basically reboot it. Jeez. It's following me like the... Okay, this is what we want. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we now enter password, secured, as you know. There we go. See what happens now. Okay, the question is, are we rocking? All right, so it looks like we have our basic virtual Ubuntu. Cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to need the terminal. Right there, awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about Python now. All right, so again, we are in our host, which is Mac, and then we have our guest, which is here, which is a Linux, Ubuntu again. All right, so let's talk about Python. So we're going to download Python, and when I started using Python at the beginning, I was like, I'm not using this Python, because it gets really confusing when you have this download Python 2.7 and Python 3.6. I've always been using Python 2.7, but the 3.6 is more modern. There's a lot more packages using it, and there's more packages only supporting Python 3. So they will no longer support Python 2x. So what to do? Well, we have here our Python 3.61, which we can download. So let's just do a quick set of instructions. Usually when I'm in looking for, I'll just go apt get, which is a standard command, as I said in my document here. So we've done these first two steps. So now we're going to try to use these apt get install commands in our terminal. So we want to make sure that we install 3.6. Let's see how we can do it. There's a bunch of essential packages that we'll need to download, which is all here. Okay. So let's make sure we get all the necessary stuff. So what it's going to do, we got to set up the apt get repository and set a repository for the apt get for that package and where that repository resides, which is here. Then we go update, and I think it will update all the packages that we currently have, and then we just install 3.6. Okay, so let's give it a whirl. So first we need to do apt. Now we don't have our root access set up yet, but I think we can get around it. Let's see if I can add this command right into the terminal. No, okay, well there's another way to do it. It's my lazy way of doing it. I do everything within the Linux guest. Now you're not going to get the latest versions of everything, but that's okay. So we'll go to Google. Oh, there we go. And we're going to do the same thing. Okay, apt get. Install Python 3.6. All right. How do I install Ask Ubuntu? Now, we know we're using Ubuntu 16.04, I believe it was. Yes. We just downloaded it. All right. Today would be nice. Okay, so copy. Okay, so let's do that. Boom. gotta make, I'm not sure. Oh, my other password is created. There we go. It should work. There we go. Press enter to continue for adding it. So public key, trust, created, total process. So it looks like that got created. Okay, cool. Okay, now we're going to run this update to get the latest packages for, I think, everything in Ubuntu, this current version that we've just installed. So yeah, it's downloading 3.6. So it looks like it's downloading, it's getting the 3.6 Ubuntu. Okay, last step. Alrighty. Okay, that should do it. Yes. So it'll take a little bit. So what we've done here is we are now on this step right here. So it's going to take a little while to download. Okay, there we go. So that's pretty fast actually. Let's see if we got the right 2 hyphens, 1 hyphen. Okay, so I don't know how we got 2.7. We don't want that. What? Somebody dropped the ball there. Oh, maybe. Let me just make sure I'm getting this right. I think I got my versions of Ubuntu screwed up. Maybe I'm on 1704. I didn't really pay attention to it. Wah, cry me a river. Zero upgrade. Python 3.6 is at the newest version. So, am I supposed to type in Python 3.6? Ah, wow, interesting. Alrighty. Now I can't remember the environment. So I have 2 versions of Python running, which is fine. I like that. I prefer it this way. Cool. Alrighty. So let's see if I got pip. Now, question is, if I do pip install, will pip install into 2.7, or will it put it into Python? I want all my packages to go into 3.6, not the 2.7. So let's do this. So we need a program called pip, which is a Python package manager. Now let me just try a test here. So we want to get pip 3.6, might be 3, just 3. How to install for, here we go, this might be useful. Okay, this is where it gets confusing, but we only want, got the wrong thing, blah, 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 blah. How do I run, if I run pip argon, I get, okay, I don't think that'll work, but no package are found. You got one small thing. The package is pip. Oh, here we go. Pip 3. So what we got to do here, make sure you get this right, is we need, it's called, so we're going to, this is the name of the package, Python 3-pip. So what we got to do here is apt get install Python 3 pip. Is that right? Python 3 pip. Beauty. Okay. So I guess what we got to do is we got to do pip install, but run pip 3 for Python 3, if that's not confusing. Very cool. Okay, this might take a while. All right, so let's see if pip 3 works. It does. All right. Okay. So let's just verify things here. So what we've learned here is we want to install Python pipe 3, which is actually Python 3 pip. And I'll put the reference here to how to install 3.6 of Python. So that is here. This one, which is for pip for Python 3.6, depending upon your version of Ubuntu. So in our case, we've got Ubuntu 1704, and just go here, the reference I just gave you for the Python 3.6, and this is the command you would need for Python 3 pip. Okay, so hopefully these will run, but we got to put pip 3, not pip. Oops. Ah. Okay, where's my guest? There we go. Okay. All right, so we have pip 3. So now we're going to install the Python packages. So we're going to try pip 3 install pandas. Let's see if this runs. Working. Awesome. All right. All right, so we've got pip 3 running. Now I have not look at that. So we've got Python 3.52 installed. And we have Python 3.6 wild. Okay, so see if this works. We just did pandas. Let's see. Yeah, they've changed Python 3 completely, the import statements, but let's not worry about that. All right, so the next one we want to install is NumPy. This is again Python 3. You are using pip 8, however, not is available. You should consider upgrading. Hold on. Pip install upgrades. So if I go, okay. So we gotta run this command, but we want to install. Let me just try that. So pip 3 install upgrade pip 3. Does that work? You're using, however, okay, so I guess I use pip install upgrade pip. Pip is currently not installed. You can install by typing in, interesting, pip install. Okay, let's not worry about this. Let me try pip 3 install mat plot lib. See what happens here. Let's download that. All right, so pip. How do we install pip3? Let me just see what we want to install. Pip3 install pip3 update. You want to get that to the latest version of pip. How do you upgrade pip3? So let's see what it says here. So it would be nice. You can install pip associated by running pip3 install upgrade pip. Okay, there we go. So we want to run this guy right here. Make sure I can get that. So pip apt get update, no, pip update, no, pip3 update. Okay, how do I, yeah, that's what we wanted. Now let's make sure we capture that. That's what you need. Let's upgrade with, there you go. All right, so far so good. So I guess we've got pip3 version 901. That's the one it wanted. So now we can pip, oh no, we got to do pip install. Yeah, we were trying to install NumPy. Requirement already satisfied. So NumPy is already installed. Interesting. Okay. So now what we're going to try to do is, let's say if we can install Pycharm. Actually, maybe we could just download. Don't need to do from the console, can run it right from the desktop. Alrighty. So we want the EDU version, which is the free version for IDE. So yeah, so it's recognizing Linux. Let's see if this recognizes it. Thank you. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. So here we go. Open with yes. So here we go. And then just gotta sit here and wait. Okay, so it's going to automatically run it, I guess, unarchive it. Okay. Build, install, build text. Oh, we gotta extract it. Linux install Pycharm. Go into bin and install Pycharm. Optional. I'm gonna assume we don't need any of that stuff. So this is probably in the downloads folder. So pwd. That's to the home, this little squiggly thing. Downloads. Oh. Swear it's, oh. It's in this cache here. Okay. Oops. No. Alrighty. It's been a while since I've used Linux, to be honest. Okay. So we need to navigate to that folder. Let's see if I can find it. No. Haha, no. I think it was in cache. Just see properties. Oh. Didn't put it in the downloads for some reason. So it's in library. Go to download, open containing. Okay, I'm going to pause this and find this folder. Sometimes the answer is right in front of you. You got to extract the file. I'm going to extract it into the downloads directory. I'm going to create a new downloads temp directory. Okay. So I'm going to go into our downloads. I'm going to make a new directory called TMP. Okay, cool. All right, so there she is. We're going to extract into that little guy. Extraction done, close. Okay, so on the temp, there's everything that we want, Pycharm. Okay, so as far as I remember, we got to go into bin and run. Was it Pycharm? Guess this should run it. This is the ID we want. I want to import my settings from custom location. I do not have a yeah, so we're going to do that. Now, we accept all the terms of service. 3.5. Okay, so it's loading up, configuring, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so introduction to Python, configure. Now this may be important because we want to make sure we're importing and using the correct interpreter of Python. So these are the system settings. Just make sure we've got our correct. So all this stuff we don't really care about. Editor, general. Why don't we do this? Try to get a sample script. Okay, so we've downloaded. So what we've done now, we've installed all of these plugins. Sorry, the packages we've done. Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. We just installed the JetBrains Pycharm IDE. So now let's run some test scripts. Okay, so we'll do a Matplotlib. So we want to see Matplotlib. Applying data with mat, that should do it. Just want to run this, see what would happen. Zzz. There you go. We want to make sure that we can so it's asking us to run it on the interpreter itself. Okay, so we'll create a script here called scatter. Configure, create new project. Okay, so here we can choose our interpreter 3.6 because it recognized the correct interpreter that we want. Create. Oh. So whatever. Okay. So now we've got a new. So it's going to scan all the available packages through pip. What we want to do is we want to create a new script file. Let's see, yeah, we want to create a new Python file. So we'll call it scatter Python. We don't care about unit tests. Beauty. Okay, so let's put that code in that we just copied. Oop. No, we don't want that. We want here. Just some sample code to play around with. Okay. Just make certain style of coding I'm all about. Okay, so that's our sample code. But what I also like to do is where did it come from? So put a little comment in there with the little hash and then paste. And we should be able to run it. Okay, well let's just run it. It's been a while since I've run this. We have a little problem here in the naming convention. Settings. I can see why we have a slight problem. The naming convention, I messed up on. So we're going to create a Python file called scatter. And I'm not going to put the extension in. Python file. There we go. Okay, so let me just take the code from here. Copy. Now I should make it better indexing. So we want to see if it should index it, whatever. So this file we don't really need. So let's delete it. I hope that didn't do anything. Meanwhile, on the ranch. Well, there's another way we can run it very simply. Copy, do this, because we are smart. Create a new terminal. So, let's see. We could create a directory called, I don't know, source or something. Source, and let's do what's going on in our Pycharm. Okay, so here's our console. Guess we could run it. So here's the problems I was worried about. All the fun stuff. Untitled, line 2 in modules. Mat, plotlib as plot. So I think the best way to do this is to run it on the interpreter. So now we are going to do 3.6. Let's see if we can run these commands in the interpreter. It's really bitching. Import my plotlib as plot. So what's it bitching about? Can you do import matplotlib as plt? Module, no. Question is, okay, so I know we have 3.5. Okay, so does that mean matplotlib only works in 3.5? There you go, that's what the problem is. So there's some confusion between Python 3.52 and 3.6. So our this script should run in 3.52. So let me just take this code again and create a new project. Let me just close the project. Let's just create a new project. Okay, create new project. So we'll call it projects matplotlib test Python 3.6, well 3.5, so we know. Okay, so this is where we got to make sure. So we want to use this interpreter, Python 3.5. Cool. Now, let's see. So we got a new project, new Python file. Okay, so we'll call it scatter. Okay. So we should be able to paste our code. Cool. And see, it's still bitching. No module named matplotlib. Bizarre. Oh, maybe it's not matplotlib pyplot module matplotlib. This is what I was really afraid of when these conversions was going to take place. Okay, so what's going on here? Python 3.5 is what we want. Okay, let's just run this. Ah. So no module T. Oh, so it's looking for this T tinctor. Huh. So it needs a T. Please install the package. There we go. I missed that. Dope. Bizarre. Now we go through the hornet's nest of Python. Okay, so we got to do pip3 install this one, this Python 3 tk. Could not find that satisfies the requirement. Python from no matching distribution. Oh, wild. This was all supposed to be all tidy. Man, oh man, this is not fun. Okay, well, let's go to something a little, hopefully, easier. We won't worry about matplotlib, because it doesn't look like it's not 100% for whatever reason. Okay, so I'm going to try to do Python 3.5 Pandas test example. Just want a simple Pandas. Okay, let's see what happens here for Pandas. This is the one part I don't like about Python. Now, from this point on, I can be honest, I'm sure there's a better tutorial. But maybe I should be reading the general tutorial. Well, there's another package manager that they have suggested to use Conda. Okay. Wow, this is one very slow site. Okay, moving on. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let's go line by line in the interpreter itself. Okay, close out the. So obviously this thing's running out of memory. Oh boy. Wow, it's just clogging. It's always this sudo. There's always the faster way. Power off the machine and reboot. Wow, that's pretty bad. Where's my... Gotta go back to the launcher here. VirtualBox. I'm going to update the memory just so you understand what can be done. I think it's under the system. Yeah, so I only have 1 gig of base memory, so we'll bump it up to, that should do it. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to start her up. Okay. All right, so we need a better tutorial. Better tutorial is set up these packages to work properly under either 3.6 or 3.5 of Python. Obviously, this can be pretty frustrating. And yet, we're just testing this and then hopefully getting it running under the Mac. So we want our terminal. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's go grab a sample Pandas script just to test the basics. So remembers. There we go. I can already see that's going to be kind of confusing. Not a good tutorial. I just want a basic one for Pandas. Okay. So we want a Python 3.5, let's say, Pandas example. So for the best here. Okay, hopefully this will run properly. Square phrase. I don't know why people want to complicate tutorials. Oh man, we gotta read in this. Ugh. Data frame, article, data camp. Question is, are these for Python 3? Judging from the data, I'm going to assume so. Okay, now we're going to test both. Awesome. Let's hope this works. Cross your fingers. Okay, so we're going to load in, question that doesn't say what version this is for. Version of Python. Let's see what happens here. Okay. So are you ready to rock and roll? Okay, so should I do 3.5? Python 3.5. Okay. Just going to import pandas spd. Good. Import numpy as np. Cool. Now let's try. This should work. Okay. Woo! Now I'm going to do a data frame. Looks like there's not much changes in the numpy or pandas. So if I go df, there you go. Awesome. So that kind of works. Save the data frame to a we'll create another temp directory here. So let me me just try. Let me just try this. Make dir tmp pwd. There you go. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll save it. So I guess we can't do that. df equals pd df2 csv. Can do the absolute. Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll call it example CSV. Is correct? Yes. Okay, good. So now we're going to do df equals pd read CSV data. No, we just want to, what's it called? Example CSV. There you go. Awesome. Another CSV. What else are we going to do here? I think we got the basics down for Pandas and NumPy, but the question is, why are we not able to? Let me try another session here. Google, Python, 3 matplotlib. Sample. PyLab example code. Simple. Okay. So what we're going to do. Okay, let me just run this code. I think import matplotlib. Now, if it doesn't work for some reason, we have a problem. Yes, it doesn't like it. Oh, I know what we may have. Obviously not properly installed matplotlib. So we want to pip 3 install matplotlib. So we want to matplotlib pyplot, this guy right here. I think that might be a separate pip install, I think. Is it pydata? Pyplot. Okay. Let's see what happens here. I'm sure matplot2 pip install matplotlib with virtual. Yeah, that's the error we got. We are not the only ones. When I do pip install, get the error. Oh, so there's some more stuff we gotta add. Thanks for the info. I finally got it working by installing the following dependencies. libpng div libpng. Oh, it's looking for other additional. So sudo build dependency matplotlib does not. Oh, I see. So we gotta do this. I'm gonna assume. Guessing here. Okay. So we'll quit. It's so much fun. Okay. Let's hope for the best. done. You must put some source URLs in the sources list. Oh. Sudo apt get build dependencies matplotlib. So to generate a graph in PNG, you'll need the following dependencies. Am I getting this right? I'm grasping straws right now. Okay, guess that worked. So we need that as a dependency. And we need this. Let's hope for the best. Okay. Let's hope this works. But I am glad I am doing this raw. So we want Python 3.5, let's say. Damn. Please install Python TK package. Okay, that's the problem. Is it a package we got to install? Or is it apt get we're using? Something tells me it's Python 3 TK. Let's see if that's it. Yes, that must be it. Okay. We may have found our problem. Oh, no. This is not fun. No module. Pip install pip3. Pip3 install Python 3 TK. No. I don't think it'll be this. No. Module not found. Here we go. Maybe that might be wise. Sudo install Python support. Okay, let me try this. So this was for Python 3. Tinctor. Python 3 support. Can I guarantee all your modules will build since there are some API changes between Python 3? Yes, I am on. Wow. What for me exactly was sudo apt. Yeah. I think we tried that. Okay. try this again. Just to get matplotlib running, folks. Amazing. Okay. So Python 3.5. Ah! So that is what we need. Let me make sure I capture that. We actually need that was our magic line right there. So to run this for matplotlib in Python 3x, run sudo apt get install Python 3 tk sudo apt yeah, that looks like the right one. Okay, so I think we may be onto something. Okay, you know this will work. Okay. So we're gonna, I think we don't need to, well, I'll just do it for kicks, numpy. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, let's see if these 3 lines run. Okay, more. So it's running. Yay! Okay, beautiful. There we go. Awesome. So, quit. See if I can run Pycharm from here. Pycharms. Where did I put it? Oh, I remember. I can't remember where I put the Pycharm. Was it downloads? TNP, I think so. There we go. Pycharm. Bin. And then we should be able to run Pycharm from here and just make sure. Oops. Oh. So we want to run this script just to see if it runs within. I'm pretty sure it should. Don't care about that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're going to replace this code with the other code. Okay, so let's run this puppy. Oh, there we want the little green triangle. Module. And it's bitching. No module, matplotlib found. Okay. Close this project. Create a new one. Create new project. Now the question is, what? Guess what Python were we running? Was it 3.5? Let's hope that this runs. Okay, we'll call this matplotlib. Okay, so create a new file. We know it works. Call it test. Okay. Two processes running. Where's the little running thing? Print, run. It's not recognizing this as a Python file. Wow. Something funky going on with this file. Where's my little execution? Yes. Okay, we want the console. I'm sure I'm doing something stupid here. I don't even see a save. Huh? Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm going to leave it because we know it runs within 3.5. And what I'm going to try to do is run that code. Where's my little icon? All right, whatever. So we want source. All right, so let's run the Python 3.6. Wrong one. Python 3.6. Just to finally test that. I don't know what's wrong with that IDE. Might be its user. Okay, where's the code? Is it here? There we are. Okay, and then paste. Hold on. I thought we had this ironed out. Okay, we have a problem. So we're running, that was 3.6, but we know it can run in 3.5. So it can't even recognize the so yeah, see, it can run no problem in 3.5 Python, but not 3.6. So we'll leave it at that. That's probably why the IDE is not running either, because I gave it the 3.5 interpreter, or that's what I assigned it. There we go. So it's running at 3.5. So that's a problem in the this version. So this project is, see, it's using Pycharm 3.51. That is bizarre. The trials and tribulations. Okay. We'll create one more little project. So we want 3.52 because we know that runs. So we want matplotlib plot lib test 3.5. Let's call it okay. I'm amazed at this. Okay, let's create a new project. 3.5. We want to create, let's call it matplot test 3.5. Okay. So we're using the 3.52 interpreter. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. So I'm going to create a new file. Test. Okay. So I'm going to test. So I guess it's indexing. Same problem as before. Oh, there we go. Now it's going to run. Python 3.52. Okay. So run. I'll have to look into this more. There we go. It's running. So lesson learned. 3.6 is not quite prime time for matplotlib. That's Python 3.6, but 3.5 is okay for matplotlib. It's not quite cleaned up yet. So you could run into all kinds of problems. I wouldn't be surprised with these modules or packages that are not up to date. And it can be a nightmare, to be honest, because you could add on another package and it may not be compatible with Python 3.6. But it may be compatible with 3.5, then you got another package, and it's going to get really hairy. But that's a lesson learned on 3.5 for Python versus 3.6. But we did get it built, so my apologies there. Hopefully what I've provided here is enough for you to get started. But make sure and I'll update this for 3.5, installing 3.5. I would not recommend 3.6. Doesn't look like it's up to date yet. Maybe it is, I don't know, but 3.5 works. Okay, so hopefully that'll help you out. My apologies on the confusion there at the end, but 3.5 it is for now. Later.